Hello everybody, welcome back to part 2 of this installation walkthrough for SoftEther VPN project. So what you're looking at is a playback. I'm going to be talking over this playback. I recorded this installation sequence a while ago, and so that it makes it easier and better for me to talk through what I'm doing. It's not easy to talk through while you are making the video, and sometimes I find that the video gets to be a little bit longer than it needs to be. So doing it this way allows me to cheat a little bit and remove the parts that do not necessarily need to be on the video. Okay, so I'm just going to click play. So what you're looking at is I obviously did this on the Ubuntu software. What you're looking at now is the virtual box. It's showing you the two workstations that I have turned on. They are both running Windows 10, and then one is going to play the role of a server, a VPN server. The other one is going to play the role of a VPN client. They are both obviously ordinary Windows 10 machines. It's just that on the one computer I'm going to install the SoftEther VPN software, and then on the other I'm going to install the SoftEther VPN client. The other thing that I would like you to notice is as I select the one workstation, must look at the background. I'm not sure what color this is. I'm not sure if this is peach or pink, but in any case, just notice that the background for the server is this pink one, and then you'll notice that the background for the computer that will play the client is going to have a blue background. There you go. Also, what I've opened there on the browser are notes. I made notes and I saved them on GitHub prior to making the installation, just to make it easy for me to follow the notes and to make the installation go a little bit smoother. I will copy the URL over there, and then I will put it on the description below, so just look out for that. You can have a look at it now, or you can have a look at it once the video is done. That is entirely up on you. All right, let's start. First on the list is this download string. Let me just pause it a little bit. It's when you look at it, it's IWR. It's invoke web expression. I've been trying to use more and more of PowerShell these days, just to get that muscle memory going, just to get myself used to the commands. I could just as easily go on to the download page of SoftEther VPN and download the good old-fashioned way, but I thought when I'm making the video it's going to be much quicker if I put the direct URL right there on my notes, just to make it easy for me to copy and paste. I think when you see me do it, you will find that it might be a little bit quicker than actually going to the browser and typing www.github. I think you understand what I'm trying to say. All right, let's let it go. And over there, I'm starting PowerShell. And I'm increasing the font. Thank you, John. That's John H. I changed the directory to the downloads folder. I copy the command once again, and I will paste it on the PowerShell window. Then I hit enter. Then I do a little bit of magic to fast forward everything. Fast forward. Do young people say that these days? And so it's downloaded. The SoftEther VPN software is downloaded. Next thing I need to find is the IP address of the server. As you can see in my notes, I already know what the IP address is going to be. It's going to be .115. There you go. It's going to be a little bit different when you do it, of course. Here I was just doing it for consistency and so that you put that IP address in memory when we use it later. The other thing that I found out was the good old ipconfig seems to find the IP address a lot quicker than the PowerShell method of finding the IP address. Have you noticed that? Anyway, so the next part is to run the wizard that we have already downloaded. So we go to the downloads folder. There's the executable over there where we double click. And it's the usual next, wada, but let's go through it. Click next. Yes. The usual, oh yeah, we select the SoftEther VPN server. The end user license agreement that we all just click next to. You should really be reading those. You pick a folder where you want it to be installed. Next. When you're ready to install, you click on next. And then there you go. It's done. And then it says on the next window. Okay. Yeah, there you go. You select localhost and then you click on edit setting. Okay, there you go. There we get to replace localhost with VPN server. Okay, so I decide to give it the name of the setting first. I call it VPN server. Then for host name, I give it the IP address. And then I give it a password, a super secret password. And then I click on OK. Then you click on connect. There you go. I'm clicking connect. It says leave the password blank and click OK. So I do that. And now we get to change the password and I make the password super secret. And then from this point on, we basically follow what the images say. We go and we tick on remote access VPN server and click next. I need to adjust the window a little bit so that I can see the next button. Need to adjust a little bit more. There you go. Now we can see the next button. Okay, there you go. Do you really want to do this? Yes. Virtual hub name, we shall call it my VPN hub. You can call it anything you want, of course. I just like using my VPN hub. Then you're going to click on OK. We're not going to use any dynamic DNS service, so we're going to click on exit. We select those two checkboxes and we click next. Oh, okay, not next. We disable VPN Azure. Click on OK. Now it's time for us to create a user. The user we'll create is called VPN user 1. And then we create the certificate. We put the usual details when you create a certificate. Then we click on OK. Then we need to set the passphrase. The passphrase is super secret. You can change it to whatever. You don't have to make it super secret. You must make it something a little bit more secure, of course. Here, just for demo purposes, I just try to be consistent with the password that I use. Here we're creating the certificate files, and we call them VPN user 1 because they belong to VPN user 1. And now they've been created successfully. We click on OK. It confirms the user has been created. And there's our user there. We don't need the screen anymore. We click on exit. The last thing we need to do is to select our local bridge. That's it. And we click on close. Now I believe at this stage the VPN server part is done. There's just one more thing. Those files that we created, we're going to need some means of accessing them when we set up the client computer. So what we're going to do is we are going to share the folder, the My Documents folder. We're going to share that so that we can access it from the client computer. But remember, if the client computer is not on the same network, if the client computer is going to be in a different house, then those two certificate files that were created, they are currently sitting in the documents folder. You're going to need to put them on your USB and then go and copy them over to the computer that will be playing the role of a client computer. That is, you copy them from the server computer to the client computer. In this case, both these virtual computers, they're sitting on exactly the same network. So we can cheat a little bit and basically access those two files that were created via a shared network. You'll see me doing that a little bit later on. In fact, you'll see me doing that now. Go. Now the folder is shared. And now we are ready to begin installation on the client computer. And now we are on the client computer. We start PowerShell. Go to the downloads folder exactly as we did when we were doing the server. We increase the font a little bit. Thanks again, John. And then we copy the command. We paste and nothing happens. And so what happens there is when I set up this virtual computer, I forgot to enable the setting for bidirectional clipboard sharing as well as drag and drop sharing. So you see me quickly shutting the machine down in order to go to the VirtualBox settings in order to enable exactly that setting. So go to advanced, and for shared clipboard and drag and drop, I enable that setting. I click on OK, and then I start the computer. You'll see it start very, very quickly because I didn't want to delay the installation. Okay, so we try again. We go to our PowerShell. We change the directory to downloads. And then we try to copy the command again. And then you'll see this time it will work flawlessly. There you go. We hit enter. And then it downloads the client. Done. Okay. There it is. So now we go to the downloads folder. There's the client software over there. Click on next. Yes. Select the VPN client. You click next. We agree to the license agreement. Click next. No time to read. Import your notices. Click next. Pick the folder. We click next. And then the installation is done. Now we need to, first of all, install the virtual adapter. Fortunately, it will auto install as we click on add VPN connection. We click on yes. We can give the adapter the name. We leave it as VPN. This part here takes about 31 seconds, I believe. I just did a little bit of edit magic to make sure that it goes a little bit quicker. All right, now we're ready to add VPN, but notice something. Let me just pause this quickly. When you look at my notes, And let me just pause this quickly. I think that went a little bit too quickly. Initially, the notes had read 116, and that's because when I was doing the notes, that's what the IP address was. But by the time I was ready to make the video, the IP address had changed. So what I had to do was to quickly change the notes to reflect this new IP of .115. You didn't see that because I quickly, remove that part out of the video. So if your eye told you, hey, something has changed, it's the IP address. It was 116, but now it's 115. When you visit the notes, it will say 115. But remember, it's going to be different on your system. You just need to be consistent on your system, okay? All right, I'm going to play back the video. So the VPN client adapter is done. Now we're ready to add the connection. We give it a setting name. The VPN server is a setting name. The host, 115. I'm sorry, I keep popping in and out of the screen, and that's because our power is going to get cut in about 8 minutes, and I'm hoping to finish this walkthrough by then. But I think we'll make it. Yeah, there's about 4 minutes left. I should make it. Okay, so if you're following along, now we need to select the certificate. So here we are, we're starting the file explorer. We do // the IP address .115. There's the documents that we shared earlier. We copy those two certificate files. We paste them in our local My Documents folder so that as we go back to specify the certificates, we'll find them sitting very nicely for us in the My Documents folder. We select both keys. We put the password, which was super secret. Then we click on OK, checking the time. 7 minutes to go. All right. And that basically concludes the setup of the client. So now we just need to test it quickly. What does it look like? We try to connect. That part takes a while as well. I think that's the part that takes 31 seconds. So then you can see up there, let me pause, it says connected. But to verify, we drop into command prompt and then we click on ipconfig, and then we notice that we've got two interfaces. Okay, we've got two interfaces. One clearly says VPN client, and this is the original one. And that IP address there reflects the IP address obtained when the client connected to that computer over there. So to prove it, I'm going to try and disconnect it, and I will run ipconfig again, and this time we'll only see one set of IP addresses. So we go ahead and we disconnect. Then we run ipconfig C. The VPN adapter is not connected anymore. And then we try to connect again, and this time it confirms, it tells us the IP address. And when we run ipconfig, we get the confirmation there. So that's it. That's the whole installation process. I hope you find the video very useful, and I would like to thank you again for joining me on this video. Please do like and subscribe if you did like the video. Thank you. See you on the next one.